Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Gyro. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, but guess what? I'm back here. I wanted to make this mock draft for you guys and just for myself. The NFL draft is literally this week on Thursday. Please do not miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I bet you there's going to be a lot of trades, and that's what I'm here to do today. I want to try to predict the NFL draft. That's basically impossible unless I was the GM of every NFL team, then I could do it, but I don't know the heads of every GM in the NFL, but mock drafts are just fun, you know what I mean? It's just a way to, it's just, you know how people do March Madness brackets? It's kind of like that, for me at least. I find it really enjoyable. I'm here on my iPad, ready to draft, and I'll provide you guys with content, so yeah. This is going to be a one-round mock draft on NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. I love their simulator. It's great. So, yeah, if you guys want to try it out, just look it up. It's a great service, in my opinion. And, yeah, without further ado, let's just get on into it. If you enjoy this, like and subscribe, of course. It pushes my content out, and it, you know what I mean? It helps my content grow, all right? And if you don't like if you don't like what I did with your favorite team, you know, go ahead and just holla at me in the comments. Just say some if you want to say some. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, if you like it, or if you just want to say anything, go right ahead. I don't care. But yeah, let's just get on into it. Pick one. Obviously, I think this one's gonna be a simple pick. It's gonna be Bryce Young. I wish it was C.J. Stroud as an Ohio State fan. But, you know what, it's all signs are pointing to Bryce Young, so we're just going to do that. And pick number 2, to me, this is the biggest mistake of the draft, but I think this is what's going to happen. Will Anderson Jr. is going to go pick 2 to Houston. I think C.J. Stroud's literally right there, so I don't know why they won't take C.J. Stroud, but you know what, it is what it is. A lot of rumors have been circulating that Will Anderson is their guy. It's either him or Tyree Wilson, so you know what, we'll go ahead and do that. There also are some people that think that Houston could trade out of that pick. But honestly, I just don't know who would want to trade up. And it could be Indy, but I don't think Indy really wants to trade up. I think that they're fine with getting whoever they can at number 4, whichever quarterback at least. They're either going to get Will Levis, C.J. Stroud, or Anthony Richardson. So I think they'd be content with whoever falls to them there. And yeah, that's just what it is. And now we're at pick number 3 with Arizona. Now, Arizona, I think, is like 100% they're going to trade down. I just don't know how they can stay at pick number 3 with the amount of holes they have on their roster, with the amount of draft assets or lack thereof they have. I think this is just an opportunity for them to really accumulate assets and to build up a better team because they are just in a rough position right now. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to make a trade. And the team I'm going to trade up with is the Las Vegas Raiders. You're going to see the draft cap. It doesn't really matter. I'm just putting it in so I can accept this is a one-round mock draft. So whatever it is, what it is. But I'm going to have Las Vegas go to pick number 3. It's not that far from where Arizona originally picked, so it makes more sense, you know, like I don't think a team like, you can look right here, Tampa Bay, I just don't think Tampa Bay can trade all the way to that pick. It just won't make much sense for them. So let's go back here. And now with pick number 3, C.J. Stroud will be a Las Vegas Raider. This is a perfect scenario for the Raiders. I mean, they have Jimmy G, but C.J. Stroud, they can bring him in. I think they probably are pretty high on him. I've heard some rumors about that, and I can believe that for sure. I like C.J. Stroud a lot, so I think it's a great pick for them. And now with the Colts, I mean, I've been hearing a lot of rumors about this. Will Levis going pick number 4. I can just see it happening. I think the Colts love Will Levis just off of a lot of the stuff we've been hearing. Mr. Mayonnaise and Coffee, all right? If you haven't seen that video, look it up. It's kind of nasty, but Will Levis is going to Indianapolis. Now, pick number 5 is very interesting because Seattle could do a lot of things here. They could trade down. They could trade down with they could trade down with Tennessee, I think, because the Seattle Seahawks have been known to trade back. All right, they've been known to do that before, so I can see it happening again here. But in this situation, Tyree Wilson is right there for them, and I think that it's just too good to pass up for them. So I'm gonna give them Tyree Wilson, and let them get what some may consider the best edge rusher in this draft class at pick number 5 right there. And now with Detroit, you see Jalen Carter available, but I don't know why. I just don't see Detroit buying into Jalen Carter at all. So we're gonna go with Christian Gonzalez. They obviously need some secondary help. They did pick up a lot of guys in free agency, notably Cam Sutton, who was a Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback. I'm a Steelers fan as well. So, seeing him go to Detroit kind of hurt a little bit, but they could use another guy. And Christian Gonzalez is, in my opinion, the best cornerback in this draft. He's 6'2", like 200, just a freak of nature. It would be awesome on that team. And now we're going with Arizona at pick number 7. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a little odd here. I'm going Peter Skoronski. All right. Peter Skoronski. Some may consider him a guard. Some may consider him a tackle. A lot of people consider him a really, really good offensive lineman, maybe perennial Pro Bowler. And Arizona can now help Kyler Murray, give him some protection, some well-needed protection, and Peter Skoronski can offer that. And I can see it also. If Las Vegas stays at pick 7, I could also see them taking Skoronski, so that could work out there. I think 1-7 could be like the ceiling for Skoronski, and I could definitely see him being an Arizona Cardinal. So now with pick number 8, again, Jalen Carter is available. Devin Witherspoon's available. That's very intriguing for me. But Nolan Smith, the Georgia product, he's been gaining a lot of steam, I've been hearing. A lot of people love his game. Me personally, I think Nolan Smith is pretty dang good. And that's staring me right in the face, and I really like it. I like it a lot. I like that fit there. So you know what we're gonna do here? We're gonna go Nolan Smith. That's a little bit of a curveball right there, but we're gonna do it. You know what, Georgia product. Atlanta can get their edge rusher of the future. At least they hope the edge rusher of the future with Nolan Smith. And now Chicago gets the perfect scenario for them. They could get arguably the best player in this draft class, Jalen Carter at pick number 9. After trading back, they got DJ Moore, they got all these assets. They could have lucked out here. Chicago may have gotten the steal of the draft here, and they select Jalen Carter in my mock draft. All right? And now Philly's up. The thing about Philly, I think they also could trade. If you look at their draft picks, let's just go to Philly. Oops, that's not Philly. Philly's right here. They have 2 firsts, they have a second, they have a third, but those middle rounds, not really many picks. I'm going to give them, because, if they want an offensive weapon, they could get a Jackson Smith and Jigba or a Bijan Robinson later in the draft. And just the way the draft board is, I think they might be able to trade back, and a team that could trade up are the Pittsburgh Steelers, my team. Because I think Paris Johnson Jr., I think we're in love with Paris Johnson Jr. I obviously love Paris Johnson Jr. So you know what? We're going to do it right now. We're going to be sending pick number 10 to the Steelers. And we will be getting Paris Johnson Jr. on that team. I've been hearing a lot of rumors that the Eagles love Jackson Smith and Jigba, and they could get Jackson Smith and Jigba obviously later in the draft, maybe. And if not, they can also get Bijan Robinson, who a lot of people see as a top 5 player in this draft class. He's an absolute stud of a running back. If you need more research, I'd search up clips of him on YouTube. He's insane, right? He's the real deal. He'd change any team that he's on. And, they could get him later in the draft. And also gain capital to do more. And I can see Howie Roseman wanting to do that. So, we're going to do that. And now Tennessee, they feel blessed beyond belief because they get a quarterback here at pick 11. They didn't have to trade up or anything. They just straight up get a quarterback in Anthony Richardson. There you go. And they luck out. I mean, Anthony Richardson, a lot of people are saying has the highest ceiling in this draft class. A lot of people are comparing him to Cam Newton, who obviously won an MVP. At the end of his career, obviously trailed off a lot, but it's all right. With Anthony Richardson, I think he will be stupendous if he goes in the right position, and he can sit behind Tannehill. Obviously, I loved Malik Willis last year. I don't know if I have on my channel, I don't know if I've did a video about Malik Willis at all. I think I did do a mock draft last year where I selected Malik Willis to Pittsburgh. I love Malik Willis, but for some reason I think they're just ready to move on. So that being said, we're gonna roll there. All right, now with pick 12, Houston could go a plethora of directions here. I think they'll trade down. This one might be weird, but I'm going to have Houston. Shoot, that's not Houston. I'm going to have Houston trade with Tampa Bay, all right? And no, this is not for a quarterback, all right? This will be for, let's scroll down, Broderick Jones. Tampa needs a tackle, and New York is right there for a tackle. They might be able to leap New York and select who they want there at pick number 12 so they can just get the guy and just not have to wait for a bunch of these teams. I mean, New York can take a tackle. New England can take a tackle. Washington could take a tackle. Like, all these teams could take a tackle there. And the Texans could use all the draft assets they want and need to try and build up their team. I mean, it's not looking good for them right now, so they can use all the help they can get, much like the Cardinals. So now we're going to go with pick number 13 and the New York Jets. And now Jets are in a bit of a predicament. They could go Darnell Wright, who has been gaining a lot of steam as well, or another option that I've heard, I think Tony Pauline of Pro Football Network, I think he's the one that reported on this. They love Jackson Smith-Njigba. They love him. And the three top tackles, if you consider Skoronski a tackle, they're all gone. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to give the Jets Jackson Smith-Njigba. They have a lot of receivers, obviously, but I think they do love Jackson Smith-Njigba. So, you know what I'm saying? We might see that happen. And that's what's being reported, so I'm just going to go off of that. And, yeah, Jackson Smith-Njigba will be going and pairing up again with Garrett Wilson. That makes me happy, all right? As a Ohio State fan, that makes me really happy. So now we're going to New England, and they get Devin Witherspoon, who did not fall. I mean, this entire draft, he has not been taken yet. Devin Witherspoon falls right to New England. That is a perfect scenario for the Patriots. They get arguably the top cornerback in the draft at pick 14. They need a cornerback, and they just get who many consider the best corner in the draft. So now Green Bay, they have a few options here. They could go edge rusher, they could go wide receiver, but wide receiver, besides JSN, it's not the best in my opinion. They could also consider tight end, obviously. And this is a good tight end class. This is a really good tight end class. But what I'm going to go with, to keep the tradition of the Green Bay Packers, I'm not going to pick a skill position, and I'm going to go with Lucas Van Ness. I can just see it happening, you know what I mean? Lucas Van Ness, he's a really good edge rusher, and Green Bay could use one. So he will be going to the Pack. All right, Washington now. They have Joey Porter Jr. available. They have Deonte Banks available. They have Dalton Kincaid, Michael Mayer. They have all these tight ends available if they want to go tight end. If they think that this is just a really deep class, I want to quickly just see. I'm not going to make a trade. I just want to quickly see how many draft picks they have. 47. They might be able to get a really good corner at pick 47. This is a really deep corner class. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give them Dalton Kincaid. They could use a tight end, And Peter Schrager, an NFL insider, did a mock draft. He put Kincaid with Washington, and I think he did. It was a tight end. I'm pretty sure it was Kincaid. And I can see it happening, and in this situation, I'm going to do it. Because this corner class, in my opinion, is really, really deep. I mean, just looking at this, Deontay Banks, Emmanuel Forbes, Cam Smith, Keely Ringo, DJ Turner, Julius Brents, like all these guys, Clark Phillips, all these guys are absolutely studs. And I can see them falling a little bit because there's a lot of other positions that teams need. So, you know what? Yeah, this is what we're going to do. And now the Eagles, I'm going to give them Bijan Robinson. Again, like I was talking about earlier, could be a top 5 player in this entire draft class. So I'm going to give him to Philly, and we're just going to rock and roll with that. I think I've heard a lot of interest that they brought him in for a visit and everything. I can see that happening. And now with the Detroit Lions' next pick, they can go a few places here. Miles Murphy is right there, and that's what I'm leaning towards. Or I could go Kalia Kancey, but I think what I'm gonna do here. I think what I'm going to do here is go with. See, this is tough. I'm going to give them Miles Murphy. I'm going to let Aiden Hutchinson and Miles Murphy, I'm going to let them team up. He could be BPA there. Obviously, Joey Porter Jr. is there as well, but they just took Christian Gonzalez with their first pick, so I don't want to really do that. So now Houston is back up, and you know what? Joey Porter Jr. is there, and I think that's just where I'm going to go with it. I don't know if I really want to give him a receiver. I mean, I could. You know what? I might give him a receiver. I think I'm going to give him Jordan Addison here. All right, they need to surround whoever their quarterback is. I think, honestly, this is my prediction. I think Trey Lance will be a Houston Texan by week 1 of the 2023-2024 season. I think he will be the quarterback. So you know what? Surround him with great talent. Give him Jordan Addison and just let him thrive there. So yeah, I'm gonna give him Jordan Addison. They have a bunch of picks. They can do that. They can make that move. That's what we're going to do there. And now Seattle is up. And with their pick, I could give them Quinn Johnson. I could give them Zay Flowers. The receiver could be something I can do there. I can do that. But I can also go tight end with Michael Mayer. But, I mean, that's coming up. I'm saying but a lot because there are a few things I can do here, especially since they traded back. I don't really want to do that. Interior line, I don't think they really need that either. So what I will be doing here is I will be giving them Zay Flowers. All right, they can give Geno Smith another weapon. Zay Flowers is being highly coveted right now. I think he's a stud. I'm excited for where he can go. He's a great route runner. So we're gonna do that. Now the Chargers, I'm going to give them Michael Mayer. Like I was talking about before, I think tight ends are pretty good in this year, so I'm going to give arguably the best tight end to the Chargers, give Justin Herbert another weapon. I think they do need a little bit more speed in their receiver room for sure, but for now I'll just give them Michael Mayer. And that's that. Now, gosh, I don't want to do this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. The Baltimore Ravens are going to get Deontay Banks. Joey Porter Jr. is there, but as a Steelers fan, I can't do that. I cannot have a Joey Porter on the Ravens, so I'm absolutely not going to do that, all right? I don't care if that's not accurate, whatever. Deontay Banks, there are teams that consider him CB3. Baltimore could be one of those teams, I don't know. And he's from Maryland, all right? He went to school, Maryland Terrapins, I think that's how you can say it. There you go. So I'm going to give the Ravens Deontay Banks. And now with Minnesota, we have a few things we can do here. A few things we can do for sure. I am going to go, since Minnesota has a few things they need. Joey Porter Jr. is right there. I'm going to give them Joey Porter Jr. And with the Jags, I'm going to give them Brian Branch. Two absolute studs in the secondary. Joey Porter Jr. obviously is a great corner, and Brian Branch he's very, very versatile. All right, he's extremely versatile. The Jags might be able to use that versatility. And yeah, that's what we're going to do there. And now with the Giants, they have Quentin Johnson available. They have Osiris Torrance available. I was going to say Darnell Wright, but I don't think I really need Darnell Wright. So you know what we're going to do here? Osiris Torrance, I like him a lot, and the Giants do need interior O-line, so I'm going to give them Osiris Torrance. Maybe Quentin Johnson there, but I think they have a lot of receivers. Maybe not like the flashiest players. I mean, they have Darren Waller and Saquon, but like receiver-wise, maybe not the flashiest, but they are very solid, all right? They could add to it. They could definitely add to it, but shout out to Bangle real quick on YouTube. Bangle, he made a video talking about the Giants. He is a Giants fan. He said they didn't really need to take a receiver in round one. And I heard his points, and I kind of agree. And I can see where he's coming from. So I'm going to give them an interior offensive lineman. It could have been John Michael Schmitz, or it could be Osiris Torrance. I'm just going to give him Osiris Torrance. But I think interior O-line is definitely at play there. And now with Dallas, I can see them taking a tight end, or I can see them taking a wide receiver here. Apparently, they've been doing a lot of homework on their receivers. They've been calling up a lot of people to try and get news on receivers. This could have been a trade-up scenario, honestly. They could have probably traded up with Seattle, I think. Definitely with Seattle, because that's where, they could get another receiver before LA and before Baltimore and all that. I could see them doing that. But you know what? In this scenario, they're staying put. And what I'm going to do for them is I'm going to give them TCU. I'm going to give them Quentin Johnson. Give them a big receiver to pair with CeeDee Lamb. Dallas, they're flashy, and Quentin Johnson, 50-50 balls, Dak Prescott throwing it to him. I can see that happening. So that's what I'm going to do there. So now with Buffalo, they're very complete. They're a very complete team, all right? We understand that. We can see that. So it's hard for me to really check and see what I want to do here. I could go John Michael Schmitz, just give him a center. Or just interior offensive lineman in general. They could just take him and just put him anywhere. The interior offensive line, even though I think he's more of a center. I don't know if he really plays any other position, but he's still a great player. Or they could go Jalen Hyatt. But I think what I'm going to do is I will give them John Michael Schmitz there. Just get him. I think they'll be happy with it. Interior offensive line. Do need a little bit of work there. Just protect Josh Allen as much as possible. And here, this one kind of pains me. Cincinnati's going to get Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright is a tremendous player. So getting him at 28 is a steal for Cincinnati again in the draft. They've been killing in the draft the past few years. So good for them, I guess. I don't want to say that, but, whatever. I guess good for them. So you know what? There you go. And now, New Orleans, I heard they love Calais Cansey. So I'm going to give him Calais Cansey. I hope I'm saying the name right. To all the Pitt fans out there, I'm going to do that. And then with Will McDonald, I'm going to give them. I'm going to give Philly Will McDonald. I heard there are some rumblings there. I think Nick Sirianni has some ties to Iowa State's head coach. So you know what? They might have a lot of info on Will McDonald, and Will McDonald could help the Eagles out there a lot. And now with the last pick in the first round, the Kansas City Chiefs, Jalen Hyatt is there, Darnell Washington is there, but we're going to go with Anton Harrison. Protect Patrick Mahomes, and just let him flourish there. And you know what? For the last pick, we're going to have the Pittsburgh Steelers. As a Steelers fan on the website includes the Steelers in the first round. Not really. They're not in the first round, but they consider it in the first round so I can pick them. And we have some options here for sure. Keely Ringo, I heard a lot. I mean, I've been hearing a lot about getting Keely Ringo from Steeler fans. Actually, not even from Steeler fans, just from Steelers insiders. I think I've heard a lot that they love Keely Ringo. They also love Brian Bryce. I hope I say it right. I don't know if he's a Steeler. That'd be kind of awkward. I can't say his name right. But the thing is, they don't really. I mean, they have Ogunjobi and they have Cam Hayward, so he wouldn't really play. It would obviously be a Cam Hayward predecessor. So what I think I'm gonna do here, actually, is go with Keely Ringo. All right, people don't like Keely Ringo a lot, and I kind of understand it. He got torched a good amount against Marvin Harrison Jr., but he has all the talent in the world. Ran like a 4.3 something at the combine. Absolute beast. So there you go. That's my NFL mock draft. Let's just get the rundown here. We had 3 trades. Could be more. I could see a lot of trades happening in this draft, but I only did 3 here. Maybe if I do another mock draft, we'll have a lot more. Like I can see a team trading up to 20.
You got.
And yeah, that's it. I think we're good to go. And again, make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to argue with any of my picks, go right ahead. If you like any of my picks, go right ahead and tell me, all right? So until next time, maybe this Thursday I might make a mock draft real quick. Maybe not, who knows? Well, until then, take care. Make sure you stay